Hello and welcome to the Watering Hole. Thanks for checking out this clip. Don't forget to like and subscribe because that'll make the baby Jesus cry, and I know how much you guys love making the baby Jesus cry.
Ah! What the fuck?
What?
We're not there.
Oh,
We're missing.
Also, I can't,
We're missing.
Also, I can't see anything on your end.
How about now?
There we go. Now I can actually see where I'm supposed to be.
Oh, god damn it, my hats are far away.
Your hats are far away?
My hats are far away.
I planned for everything except the hats.
Fair.
Yeah. I need to get my jug of hats and bring it closer.
Your jugs of hats?
My jug of hats. I got a big jug of hats. With a Gay Unicorn Gary pillow on top. Merch.vicetoronto.com.
Wait, hold on. I have a question. Since I provided the voice for Gay Unicorn Gary, does that mean technically I've been inside Gay Unicorn Gary because I've been in his voice box?
Yes.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore. I'm good. I'm good.
I mean, there's fan art of Gay Unicorn Gary being inside you, so
you're not wrong, but I need less of that in my life.
That's debatable. Hi. How's it going?
Hi. I am exhausted. I just got to Florida like 20 some odd minutes ago. I mean, I've been in Florida for more than 20 minutes, but I just got to my hotel 20 some odd minutes ago. And I am trying to operate. Also, why is it saying that I am on Magic the Gathering on Twitch? Let me fix that. That is not what I am doing.
Okay, I might not have changed the game when I edited the Twitch thing. Cirrus, like, as we were about to go live, he was just like, "Hey, let's stream to my channels too, eh?" So I was like, "Okay,
I would be streaming on my channel
like,
as well."
We're already 2 minutes late, so it's like, okay, fine. I will edit the streams now. Thank you, Gwenom82, for resubscribing. And Gwenom says, "Wow, both in human form." Yeah. Cirrus tried to do an avatar, but was experiencing technical difficulties, so had to switch.
Yeah, I can switch back to the avatar, but I'm already here. So
everybody's so excited for Meet Cirrus, though. So
yeah, that's where we are, I suppose. There's going to be more of that when I go live tomorrow at the Capitol. So
Capitol Meet Cirrus.
Yeah, Capitol and Meet Cirrus. No, it's
so many ways that could go. I'm just picturing like a posh British guy with a fucked up sense of humor. Like, "Oh, you've got Capitol Meet Cirrus."
A British guy with a fucked up. We already had Sirsik on. What are you talking about?
Yeah, sure. Is that
do we have
there. Mark Carney emojis? That looks like Mark, and that's from his meeting today, I think. Yeah. So my prime minister met with Donald Trump.
How'd that go?
I understand why he played it the way he did. He was very much manipulating Trump, and it worked 100%. But I would have liked, I viscerally would have liked to see him just like flat out be like, "No, you're an idiot. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Why would you even say that?" But obviously that's not going to play well diplomatically. So he just basically, he started the meeting off by like sucking him off a little bit, but very clearly in a very Canadian passive aggressive, like, it's like, "Oh, you've been such a transformational president." Like, yeah. That is a true statement. I'm not going to argue with that.
That is technically not a lie.
But then it like, as it went on, like, Trump just rambled about whatever the fuck he was talking about the Houthi rebels and how he made a deal with them. They attacked again later that day. So, like,
I don't think so. So there's a former CNN correspondent who has a channel now called Chris Quazilla, and he made an observation on Trump that I think is very, very pertinent to that. And it is that Trump's day begins with him just saying shit and then reacting to what people's reaction to that is.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's how he operates.
Yeah. So like, he was rambling about the Houthi rebels and China and like all the, like immigration and like all the normal stuff that he rants about, and the fucking reporters were just asking him follow-up questions about the shit that he was rambling about, and it's like, the Prime Minister of Canada is sitting right there. Why are you asking him about his deal with the Houthis that he clearly just made up on the spot when the Prime Minister of Canada is sitting right there? And it kind of pissed me off. It was annoying. But yeah, no, I think he did about as well as is reasonable to expect. But like, yeah, I just viscerally, I would have liked to see him just call Trump out on absolutely everything.
Yeah, I can understand that. I have not seen the interview, so I don't have an opinion other than fuck Trump.
Yeah, that's about it. Oh yeah, he also he commented that he was saying that like, oh, because I called the last guy, I called Trudeau governor, and that didn't go very well for him for his election. You're like, Trudeau wasn't up for election this time, buddy.
He just says stuff.
Him calling Trudeau governor had zero impact on this election.
Yeah,
like, Trudeau stepped down for reasons that had nothing to do with Trump, and he wasn't on any ballot. So
you lost even though you weren't on the ballot. That's what's supposed to happen. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Trump does seem to be aware, though, how much Canada fucking hates him. Because like that was one of the things he said. He was like, oh yeah, you had a very strong election, you know, you were losing bad, and then I came along and now you won. It's like, yeah, you came along and everybody was like, oh, we don't want that up here. Fuck you.
Yeah, the pro-Trump candidate did not get his seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So like, yes. That is the one good thing Trump has accomplished, is he has united people all across the world against him. And he doesn't seem to see why that's actually a bad thing for him.
No, he's uniting people. That makes him good, actually.
Oh yeah, Lord of Ozkalak is pointing out he literally wants to reopen Alcatraz because he saw it in a movie. It's like, it just so happens that PBS aired Escape from Alcatraz a bunch of times, and then later that day he just out of nowhere started talking about reopening Alcatraz. And it's just like, okay, buddy.
Remember, we are already the country that imprisons more of its population than anyone else, like per capita. That is one of our claims to fame. And he's just like, we haven't done enough. We have to do more.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. Okay, well, before we get to news items, I just before we started the stream, someone in the chat, I want to say it was Jassa, started talking about how Colorado passed the Kelly Loving Act passed in Colorado, which basically that makes it so that courts during separation agreements and divorce proceedings and whatnot, when deciding things regarding kids, if there's a trans kid, they will take into account which parent dead names the trans kid and doesn't respect their gender identity, and that will look unfavorably upon that parent.
Good.
So, yay, Colorado. Good job, Colorado. That's good. And they also said something about there being a Fuck ICE Act that passed in Colorado. I couldn't find anything called the Fuck ICE Act. I thought that would be hilarious if there was actually something called that. I assume that's a colloquial term for something else.
It's from what I understand, because Jassa was explaining it in my chat last night. It's closer not to a Fuck ICE Act, more to a, we're not going to give as much information or work with the police as closely when ICE is involved, which is all that is required for something to be considered colloquially a sanctuary city to begin with. So that's not a bad thing, really. Like, that's that shit that already makes Trump really angry.
Yeah. So it's not called the Fuck Ice Act, but it has that effect. But when I was searching for it, I did stumble across. You can apparently get a lot of Fuck Ice merch on Etsy, and so this is my favorite so far. Sugar and spice and Fuck Ice. Says $12.96 Canadian. It'd be like $75 after you pay your import tariffs.
It's so expensive to live.
Yeah, no, it's actually I am actually existentially terrified at the moment.
Oh?
Because my industry in Canada, if it were not for the USMCA or NAFTA before that, the industry that YouTube qualifies as would have to pay 30% income tax. So it's all the money that I get from the States. I have to pay 30% of that to the American government.
And then you're taxed as a Canadian citizen
I pay
as well.
tax as Canadian. So if that, under both NAFTA and USMCA, I have an exemption. So I don't actually pay any of that. Now, NAFTA was a lot better because it's just like, yeah, you're Canadian. We don't fucking care. We're like, just take your money and go. USMCA is, yeah, you're Canadian. We don't fucking care. But first fill out all this useless paperwork and then take your money and go. So like, it's kind of the same thing, but it's more annoying with USMCA. Thanks, Trump. But yeah, it's concerning that like with a tweet, he could cause my career to be not viable. Like if that goes away and I lose 30% of my income, I am now at a place where I'm going to have to like start sending my resume out to restaurants again.
Because you won't be able to live like, off of the residual there.
Like I have 5 kids to feed. That's not cheap. Like I know I make jokes about it. I say like, yeah, I'm actually okay. I'm not desperate for money, but like if I lose 30% of my money, that changes.
So think about it this way, just to give perspective for anybody in the audience. Let's say you were making $100,000 a year. Losing 30% of your income is $30,000 a year. Can you absorb a hit of $30,000 a year? Probably not. Most people can't. Most people generally cannot absorb that, especially in a world where prices are also continuing to go up. And because wages are stagnant everywhere, our pay on YouTube is also stagnant, because part of our pay on YouTube is not just from advertisers, which YouTube pays less and less every year, but we also mostly get paid by tips, by Patreon, and all of that is affected by other people's wages.
The less money y'all have, the less money I have. That's just how it works.
Yep, there's no real way around that reality.
Sean Helfin's got a good analogy. He says losing 30% of your body is actually pretty bad. That's how I reference it. That's like a leg and a half.
It's a leg and I mean, I could lose 30% of my body right now as long as it's just the fat. As long as it's just the fat, I'm golden.
Yeah, no, but along the lines of as far as crowdfunding goes, it's actually as much as I appreciate the big dollar donors, and it's amazing that somebody values my output enough to be a big value donor. I would much rather have $101 patrons than $100 patron, because that's much more like if the economy turns, that's much more durable. It's like one person giving me $100 a video. It's a shit ton of money, which means if they take a pay cut or if prices go up too much, I'm going to
take a pay cut.
Like the entertainment on Patreon that they can still access for free on YouTube is going to be like, I can do with that $400 a month back myself, which I don't think I have a $100 a month patron right now, but I did for a while. So yeah, no, as much as I love the big dollar patrons, the small dollar patrons are actually much more important.
I'm in a similar boat. I have a handful of patrons that are $20 and $30. They're great. I love them. Many of them have been patrons for years. But I know that realistically, There's going to be a time where that turns off. Their wages change, their viewing habits change. Hell, even their politics might change. Any of those things might change. I don't want my existence on this platform to be contingent on that. So a bunch of $1 and $2 donations is the way to avoid that.
Yeah. Colin Dark Falcon, thank you so much. Appreciate it. So yeah. Fuck ICE, fuck Trump, but not in a good way.
Never in a good way.
Not in a good way for either of them.
I greatly admire Cats for $5 as I finally made it to stream.
Woo.
I'm not sure why that's not showing up on my super chat thing. Because it went straight from Dark Falcon's $2 to Howard Duck's $1.99. I'm active duty military, enjoy the fascism funds. But I'm not seeing that in here to highlight.
I also just realized that there is a severe delay on this platform on Zoom. That's fun.
Because it didn't show up in my chat because I'm streaming to your channels too. That's a super chat for you.
Oh,
that explains it. That explains it.
I should be looking at my YouTube chat as well.
Senshini's taking me out of context saying, I greatly admire Cats for $5. Vice Rhino.
I mean, for $5, I'll greatly admire anything if you need me to. $5 is $5.
But yeah, back to what I was saying. Like, if you are like the member of Congress is a job that you can just slack off, do nothing, not even show up, and you still get paid $175,000 a year or something obscene like that. Like there was that Republican lady that was in an old folks home with dementia for 6 months before anybody noticed, still receiving her paycheck. If I stopped making videos for 6 months, I would not get, like, I'd still get a pittance from people watching old videos, but that is a tiny, tiny sliver of, like, what my channel makes. So, like, no, absolutely not. It's not a real job because you can just go home and not do that job and still get paid from it. It is a grift at this point. Sure, there are members of Congress who are treating it as a real job and take it seriously, and I appreciate those people. But for every one of them, there's 10 of the other kind.
I also belatedly just realized that we are not live on my live channel. We are live on my main channel.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I just clicked the one that I have in my restream. You haven't logged into your live channel on mine.
Fair enough. I will have to do that. There we go. Now I see the $5 super chat. Thank you. I greatly admire that.
Durabo10 says, Cirrus, no judging dick pics for $5 a pop. Or Cirrus is now judging dick pics for $5 a pop. You know what? If you send me a dick pic and $5, I will absolutely send you a judgment of your dick.
Yeah, I'll give you an opinion. I'll give you an opinion.
I'm not going to guarantee that you will like that opinion.
I mean, I can tell you what most of my opinions are going to be. They're going to be, is that a guy dick? Ew. Is that a girl dick? Hot.
And then there's going to be me where I don't understand that. I don't understand that because a dick's a dick.
That's
who says it's mine? I don't care whether or not it's yours, as long as you have permission to send it. No revenge porn, please.
Yeah, if you send that, I'd say we're gonna report you to the authorities, but the authorities kind of suck.
Yeah, no. I'm not gonna send someone to El Salvador because they sent me someone else's dick.
I greatly admire Cats for $2 says politicians should be paid based on percent of voters. I don't agree with that because that's just okay. So if you've ever seen the show the Orville, that's literally just the popularity planet of the Orville, but strictly for politicians. If you have the seat, you get paid. I think it should be easier to remove a politician if they, aren't doing their job well. But yeah. I don't think their pay should drop based on percentage of votes. That would be really weird. So like having a tight race means that you get paid less. And then Republicans that always win in a landslide get paid more.
Oh, I forgot to fucking, God damn it. I forgot to save the Jedi Trump picture that they were tweeting out.
It's the one where he's using a Sith lightsaber.
Yeah, and talking about how, like, oh, the Democrats are the Sith. Here I am with my red lightsaber.
Like, my guy, maybe pick the correct lightsaber if you don't want to be seen as a villain.
I think my favorite part about that is that there are people, like, whenever anybody points out, like, yeah, note the red lightsabers are the bad guys in Star Wars pretty consistently. There's always like some Star Wars nerd that like pops in and be like, oh, well, actually in this one story, a Jedi had a red lightsaber this one time in some thing that like nobody except the hardcore Star Wars nerds have ever heard of. It's like, okay, but like if you have to read a book to have learned about that, you can't expect the average American voter to be aware of it.
To know about that, as far as they
It's
know.
like-
Also, like, so there are two canons for Star Wars lightsabers. I'll be the Star Wars nerd that has read the books to be the one that jumps all over this one. There are two canons for Star Wars lightsabers. In the OG canon, the reason that Sith lightsabers were
because they're
red,
synthetic crystals.
they are synthetic crystals.
They don't
because
they don't put in the work to get the actual real legit kyber crystals.
No, it wasn't that they didn't put in the work. It was that the Jedi controlled the mine, like the actual mine that the crystals were mined from.
It's been a long time since I read that book.
Yeah, they were because back when this lore was established, they were called Adagan crystals, and the mines that had them were always in the inner rim, where like near Coruscant. That is an area that the Jedi and the Republic classically always had control of. So the Sith were not able to get access to those things without, way more risk than they ever needed to do.
Jess is pointing out General Grievous, well, not a Sith, did not have any red lightsabers. Yeah, but why did he have the not red lightsabers, Jess?
It's because he poached them from Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
So, other thing, the other canon for Sith lightsabers is that a Sith lightsaber is either stolen from a Jedi when you kill a Jedi, or it is a kyber crystal that you have taken the way you normally would, but instead of feeling out through that kyber crystal with the Force, which was a newer thing that Disney introduced that will churn its color into what it's going to be, instead you bleed the crystal of its power, and the act of bleeding the crystal of its power turned it red. It's why Ahsoka had white lightsabers, because purifying a tainted, bled lightsaber turns it white. That's how you make a white lightsaber. This is shit that I actually care about. So
but my point is that most people, when they see Star Wars related stuff, if they see red lightsaber, they know that is a bad guy.
That's a Sith.
Yeah.
That's also just a general thing you do with color theory. Like if you look at Star Wars Episode 7, anytime that something bad is about to happen or the bad guy is making a decision, all of the lighting on characters' faces turns red. There's just a basic color theory thing that happens. I might be autistic, actually. You guys may actually be right about this.
It's been so long since I've seen Episode 7, I can't really recall. Yeah, now chat's going nuts with your awakening. But
Your
awakening.
It's not that. I'm gonna forget about it next week. You know that.
Yeah, and then you'll remember, and then you'll hyperfocus.
Just ignore the fact
and then it
that
will
I'm
become
sorting
your personality for a month, and then you'll be fine.
Ignore the fact that I'm sorting magic cards as we're having this conversation.
Yeah, see, I can't do that because I still have to read every word on every single one. So you could just read the name and be like, yeah, I know what that one does, because you have them all memorized because of the tism.
Read the name. I look at the pictures. Speaking of which, I found your commander in here, but it's a special full art version of it that I didn't know I had.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, I'll hold on to that for the next time I see Rhino in
like
3 or 4
deck.
years.
That's a fun deck. But I think I don't know what's going on with my Lord of the Rings deck.
Okay, what's up?
Because I thought I had the Sauron one, but I don't have Sauron's card. So either I lost it.
That should have come with 2 Sauron cards. So
Okay, maybe it wasn't the Sauron one then.
because there should be a thick Sauron card that's big and shiny, and then there should be a regular Sauron card that looks like a normal Magic card.
Oh, am I supposed to keep the thick ones? I thought they were just decorative.
The thick ones are legal for play if they are in the command zone.
Okay.
So you can just hold on to it and use it in case you lose yours.
You can't have a big thick boy in your deck, so you always know where it is.
Yeah, that would be an interesting idea for Wizards to experiment with. What if we just let people mark their cards? Yeah, it'd be fine.
How did we get from Star Wars to Lord of the Rings? Because Cyrus brought up Magic, and I have a Lord of the Rings deck. And I'm new at Magic, and I have not played with my Lord of the Rings deck yet because I can't find my commander.
I mean, if it helps, Sauron is like a 10-cent commander. Just ask your local card shop if they have a copy. They'll probably have 12.
I was just going to send you a picture of like 3 of the cards and say, what deck is this?
I mean, yeah, you can do that. You can do that too. The decks are all color coded.
Yeah, because maybe I'm just wrong about what deck I have, and I don't actually have Sauron. I have one of the other bad guy decks from Lord of the Rings.
There was only one bad guy deck. It was Sauron. There's Eowyn, Galadriel, and Frodo and Pippin. Or Frodo and Sam.
And Sauron's red and black, right?
Sauron's red, black, and blue.
Okay, yeah, that's the Sauron deck then. I don't know where my Sauron... I lost my Sauron!
Then just ask your local card shop to give you one for 10 cents. They'll have one for 10 cents, I promise.
I don't have a local card shop.
It's like 20 minutes from where you are, I think, something like that.
That's not local.
That's local. Mine's 15 minutes from me, and I can get there on an e-scooter.
Not local.
Oh my god.
New channel name, Vice Pontifex. I actually am I'm in the process of starting a new channel.
Oh?
But I would like to actually like have a video to put up on it before I start it.
What's it going to be about?
Whatever the fuck I want.
Oh, it's going to be a dump channel.
Yeah, the first video is about the formation of superstitious beliefs as told through an analogy of the ritual that I have with the seatbelt in my car. Because it was a shower thought that I had. Like, I'm going to make this a video. Wasn't that the water hole originally? Yeah, no, so this one's going to be a little bit disconnected from my main brand. I'm not going to directly reference the Vice Rhino stuff. I'm not going to heavily promote it from my Vice Rhino thing.
It's just going to be an area where you can dump those ideas.
Yeah, and
that's what I made.
That's what I made. I'm kind of hoping that like it's going to appeal to a different audience, and so I will have a different audience, and so I don't want I don't necessarily want the crossover, because this is also kind of a like it's just a diversification where like this is a thing that I've been wanting to do for a while, and it's good to not have all your eggs in one basket. And Cute Dark Arts, thank you for redeeming the hydrate. But yeah, Sakura says ritual with the seatbelt. Yeah, I have a ritual with my seatbelt that I don't actually know if it does anything. And it's a superstitious ritual. And I developed it completely accidentally, despite being kind of anti-superstitious to the point where like I will walk under a ladder just for spite. But yeah.
I completely get the want to have a dump channel like that. That's why I made the Surespits channel myself, so I would have a dump channel when I'm just like, this is a thing I want to talk about, and it has nothing to do with Magic the Gathering or politics or atheism. It has nothing to do with the things that I actively pursue for content. Here's where I can just shit those out.
Mm-hmm. What's the ritual? Okay, fine. I'll explain it. So my car has driver profiles. So when you start up the car, you select your name, and then it will put the seats in the place that you like it. It'll adjust the mirrors to the place that you like it. It'll decide which Bluetooth device it connects to based on what you prefer. It also it has a heads-up display. I love the heads-up display. My partner hates it, so it turns it on for me, turns it off for her, does all that sort of stuff. It's one of the few actually genuinely useful features in modern cars. However, there is a glitch. where every now and then, when I select my profile, it doesn't actually change anything. It thinks that it's in my profile, but it has all of her settings. And I noticed that that seems to happen when I buckle my seatbelt up while it is still in the process of booting up. So I've developed a ritual where I will, like, I'll start the car, I'll wait for everything to boot up, I select my profile, wait for my chair to adjust, and then I buckle my seatbelt. I don't actually know if that does shit, but it seems to. It might just be confirmation bias. I don't know. And as soon as I like made the connection between like that's what I was like, I accidentally developed this thing. And it's like, for all I know, they just fixed it in an over-the-air update that I didn't even know happened around the same time as I developed that. Yeah, you're saying if there's a seatbelt sensor, I could see that happening. Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like maybe the act of buckling up sends an interrupt signal that stops it from doing something. I don't know. It is plausible that that is a pathway that it could do. Like, I don't actually know. Yeah, I know you're giving me all these tips for how I could scientifically test this, but I don't have the patience for that, so I never did it. I just have my little superstitious ritual, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't.
I don't. Is that superstition? I guess that is superstitious.
Yeah,
It seems.
it's absolutely how superstitions develop. I could see that being happening in the like ye olden days, where like I pray to this god, and then it rained on my crops. Okay, that god must care about my crops. I prayed to that god, and then I had a baby. That god must care about babies. It's just the correlation and the connections that our brains make when they're looking for patterns, and because our lives have so much statistical noise in them, there are going to be patterns that are just meaningless that we notice, that we then connect and turn into superstitions. Yeah.
This video is going to be about the seatbelt god.
Yes. The seatbelt god that allows me to switch driver profiles in my car.
Speaking of weird things coming up from streams, I've been informed by my chat, apparently, that there is now an imposter flat-chested green version of me called Cirrus because of the backwards Zoom name. And that somehow is becoming a thing. I don't.
No, I don't.
No, he's working from home. I'm working remote.
Okay.
Does Universe 17 still exist? Dragon Ball fans, so
this is your lore shit.
Mr. Perfect Cell it's a quote from Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Universe 7 is the universe where all the events in Dragon Ball happen. It has a parallel in Universe 6, and I think there's only 12 universes because canonically in Super, the gods blew up 6 of them because they were bored. It was either that or 6 of the universes were exempt from the Tournament of Power where every losing universe got erased. One or the other. Almost Cosmic Lord says it's Universe 7. Oh, does it say Universe 7 or does it say Universe 17? Am I dumb? No, that says Universe 17. Yeah, like the Cell is on Universe 7. So that is a completely different character. CJ
Okay.
Sonic says Zeno destroyed them. Okay, yeah. I've thought that every universe after 12 was just kind of poofed out of existence by Zeno because he was bored. Like that. If that was my recollection of the lore. Oh, it's a reference to Dragon Ball Multiverse. Oh, okay. I have read Multiverse. I've read the Multiverse comic. Okay, so yeah, that makes sense. What was the big event on Universe 17? Because like I know for a while the villain for a bit was Gogeta from one of the Vegito from one of the universes where they stayed together. Anyway, sorry.
It's over 9,000.
That's also a mistranslation. Anyway.
I know it's in mistranslation. I don't fucking care.
I need to. So I wish that Saki liked Christmas movies because I want to go on a binge of older, like especially the stop motion Christmas movies.
If you like any British media, Arthur Christmas is the Christmas movie for you because it's got all the British actors in it. Like Hugh Laurie is Steve, James McAvoy is Arthur, Bill Nighy is Grandpa Santa. Jim Broadbent is Santa. What's her face? That lady that played Umbridge is Mrs. Claus.
No, can't. Just can't.
You can't tell it's her. She's really good at putting on a different affect.
Fair enough.
It's such a good movie.
Soccer says, I mean, you could always watch Die Hard. True, the #1 Christmas movie.
I do watch
Die Hard. But no, the point I was trying to make there is that like you get
Con Air is an Easter movie. Put the bunny back in the box.
But I was thrilled beyond all measure, and it's in recording on video when we hit the amount that I needed to take this trip without taking like a financial loss, which was like 200 something for food and gas, and then 150 for hotel, which technically hotel was more. I realize that now because I had to pay the security deposit, so something gets fucked up here. Technically the price goes up higher, but that doesn't matter. The fact is, it's a number that was below $500, and I was ecstatic, going, oh shit, I don't have to out of pocket this. My audience is fucking great. That's what a normal person thinks when they receive a decent bit of money, as opposed to, hey, let me just go ahead and call somebody the N-word and get millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I hate reality.
Like, I'm not joking when I say it would be much easier for us to turn into right-wing grifters and just make bank.
Zero Life King says, tragedy of the Dunning-Kruger Commons. Hey,
thank you for the hydrate, Conton83.
This is a perfect time to rehash your story about Dunning-Kruger.
No, I don't want to.
You don't want to?
I don't want to admit that I got into an argument with James Dunning about the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Yeah?
No.
Well, comedically, you've already given the story, so we're here.
Yeah, somebody else you can find that story in my back catalog. Just go sort the videos oldest to newest and just hit play.
Just watch all of them until you get to it.
Every single episode of Twit Tweets is in a playlist.
You'll even, I was going to say do it on your main channel too. Like you can get to that one episode where the audio is so terribly, horrendously fucked up, but it's still there because the algorithm liked it better than the re-upload.
Is there one like that?
Yes, it's back when you used the actual Rhino picture, like the Rhino face.
Oh, you mean my? Okay, I was thinking you were talking about live streams. Yeah.
No. Full on Vice Rhino channel. This is from back when I used to actually watch you.
The algorithm fucking loved that video.
That's weird. I think it might be because people were commenting on it.
It is still one of my top videos. No, because I still get comments today. Like, people still watch that video, but I still get I don't get comments on it anymore. I still get comments on when one of the Chungus cuts I did where I smushed all the Matt Powell things together. I thought I'd clean up the audio a little bit and ran it through a filter. But because it was 3 hours long, I didn't have the patience to actually watch it all the way through to make sure that it went all the way through. And at like the 2 hour and 45-minute mark, a bunch of the audio just got fucked up. And it's like I've watched. It's like the essence is still there. You still get the point across. So I'm not gonna fix it and redo it again. But I still to this day get comments on that one. I don't get comments on the several years older video that is still one of my top videos. So it's just a mystery. I don't get it.
Look, I recently found out that a video on my Magic channel got more views than almost any other video I've done, completely in the background without getting a ton of comments, because I basically took two of the pre-constructed decks and threw them together for a deck build, and somehow that is the video that performed super well, just in the background without me knowing. I don't understand YouTube sometimes. YouTube's weird. Also,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It is the 10th most popular video on my channel.
Speaking of popular videos, on my main channel, I am happy that a video other than the re-upload from the guest video that I did on your channel finally broke 70,000 views. Because for some reason, the re-upload from your channel, which is just me doing a me video pretending to be you for 3 seconds, hit like over 70,000 views, and that was my most viewed video for the longest time. Finally, I have a couple other ones that broke 100,000 and beat it, but it's not that many.
I'm still embarrassed that my third most popular video is one where I spend it's a 22-minute video, and I spend a good half of that video just off on a tangent that when you like I misunderstood what the phrase critical scholar meant when talking about historians. So like,
Okay.
I went off on this tangent about how like, oh, Dale Allison, can we really call him a critical scholar? He's not critical of Christianity. He's a Christian. This person, they're also a Christian. Are they a critical scholar? It's like, nope, that's not what that word means.
Are they a scholar using critical theory?
Yeah, that's
Is that what that is?
I don't know if critical theory means something different.
Because critical theory is like a Marxist lens being applied to things.
Yeah, so no, that's not.
Okay.
That's media critique. No, it's something different. I'm not going to say the definition now because I don't have it on the top of my head, but like I spent a good chunk of the video going through them, and I was so proud of myself for nailing down all these historians and like searching up their backstories. And like, now that I've been doing this a few more years, I'm like, hey, these are all like household names, and anyone that is even remotely familiar with this stuff. I didn't need to do the deep dive, and I just misunderstood with it, and that's my third most popular video. So it's just like, I want people to watch other videos of mine. Also, fuck, I was just about to accept an offer from Incogni, which is the same company as Surfshark, and they've been a good sponsor of mine for ages. So I'm just like, yeah, it's a data deletion thing. It's not that expensive, so sure, I will accept the ad thing. And then another one of those fucking videos dropped that's like, oh, are data deletion services really doing what they say? And then it's like, okay. Turns out there's like 7 different kinds of data that they could be referring to, and they only delete one of them, which is the least important kind. Mm-hmm. So it's like you're paying them to essentially not do anything. I'm like, okay.
Would you also like to become a lord?
I deleted that ad.